Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for watching today, Studio 512. Mary Bryant Schrader, I'm such a big fan of hers. This is a really big treat for us. She's a viral sensation on YouTube where she shares what she calls traditional cooking for the modern pioneer. She's finally in the studio with us. She's got a new book out all about stocking your pantry for success, and she's here to tell us more about it. Mary, good morning.
Rosie, thank you so much for having me.
Why don't you tell us, if you would, a little bit about Mary's Nest and your specialization in preparing, storing, eating whole foods, the whole food diet?
Well, I started Mary's Nest on YouTube to teach people how to make traditional foods. And when I say traditional foods, what I mean are like roasting meat on the bone, like a whole roasted chicken, making bone broth, culturing our own dairy, making fermented foods, making sourdough bread, real foods, real traditional foods. And why do we want to do this? It's because these are the foods that nourish us the best, that our digestive system recognizes, and we can absorb the nutrients. The bone broth is exceptionally helpful to us because it nourishes our digestive system, in essence, moisturizing it like we would put moisturizers on our skin. And it allows our body to absorb all the nutrients from the foods we're eating and improve our gut health. And you know, we hear from scientists all the time, better gut health, better health overall.
I mean, they call it SAD, the
standard American diet.
So anything we can do to combat that. And you've got some really helpful tips along the way, because you've kind of come to people and said, I understand that you want to get away from the processed foods, but a lot of us have lost, even in just one generation or two, some of these really traditional methods of getting the most nutrients out of our foods.
Yes, that's very true. My mother taught me how to make all of these foods, and she lived to be almost 100. I'm almost 70, you know? And I really credit my good health to the fact that my mother taught me how to cook like this and eat like this. And I wanted to preserve this. I did this in my first book, The Modern Pioneer Cookbook, where I took people on the journey of how to make all the foods I just mentioned before. And then in the second book, now we're focused just on the pantry and how to have our pantries really well stocked so that we're not running out to fast food, so that we're not dashing, you know, door dashing. Yeah, I was trying to think of that, you know, Uber Eats, all these different things, you know, which are fine, you know, when someone's busy. But for the most part, you want to have foods on hand that you made homemade. And when I say pantry, as I explain in the Modern Pioneer Pantry, it's a broader concept than just a little closet.
Oh, it's emergency foods.
Yes.
It's so if you get sick and you think, oh, I can't make anything, you've got something on hand.
Yes, and you have your working pantry where you have your dry goods. You stock your fridge with your homemade ferments and your condiments and your pickles and so on and so forth. You've got your freezer where I show you how to make frozen foods that don't taste frozen.
That's good.
When you go to prepare them. And then you have your extended pantry, what you were talking about, where you have your emergency backup food. Bad weather, what we went through in 2020, illness, job loss. There's so many reasons why you want to have a backup of food to restock your working pantry, so you always have those dried goods that you can make a meal from.
And you got to the point where it's a full year, right?
Yes.
That you can make it no problems.
Yes.
That's a fully built out pantry. I'm going to become a disciple now. I am going to read these books backwards and forwards. I'm going to learn. I asked you if you would bring a little something to show us from your new book today, and you brought me something that would be great for Thanksgiving charcuterie boards or something like that.
Yes. This is great for holiday time because it's you can find today cauliflower, of course, white cauliflower. You can find the yellow cauliflower, the purple cauliflower, the green cauliflower. But what we're going to do is make a pink cauliflower.
Oh,
and
lovely.
it's sort of pinkish, kind of reddish. So it looks great at a Thanksgiving charcuterie platter or Christmas time, whatever the case may be. But what's so great about this? This is a ferment, and it's people get a little nervous when you say, oh, fermentation. This is very easy to make, and it's very rich in good bacteria, the probiotics. Stop buying all those probiotics. Just make your own
In
fermented
pills
food.
from the grocery store.
Just make some fermented food, and it's going to nourish your gut. It's funny. I always like to kind of say digestive system, but you always hear people say your healthy gut. But this is going to nourish your gut, but it's also going to help you digest those heavy meals that are served at holiday time.
That are coming down the
and
pike.
A lot of times people will have some sort of pickled vegetable. Those are like a giardiniera with the cauliflower and the carrots and the baby onions. That's very popular, but that's just pickled. It doesn't bring the same benefits as fermentation. So all you need for this is a head of cauliflower that you've just cut up into little florets. And then here, I've just got some white pearled onions. Now, I will give you a tip. These were fresh and I peeled them. It's a little bit of a work.
A tear or two?
Yeah, if you want to use, a lot of times these are sold frozen. That will work too.
Okay.
And all you do is just take this and fill your jar. That's it. And I'll do as neatly as possible.
I'm going to try and help you if I can. Teamwork makes the dream work, y'all.
It does. And then all we could do from this point is add some salt. And you want to just use like a sea salt or a pickling and canning salt. And the reason for that is salt, table salt, has anti-caking agents. That's what keeps it from not clumping.
Yeah.
And the only problem is those anti-caking agents interfere with the fermentation process.
Gotcha.
So we want to be as successful as possible with ferments. So all I've got here is some sea salt.
Okay.
And no anti-caking agents. As I said, if you don't have access to sea salt, you can use pickling and canning salt. That's often sold at grocery stores. And for a jar this size, this is a half a gallon, we're going to need about a tablespoon and a half of the salt. But don't get too wrapped up in it. It's
you make it sound very easy.
It's not an exact science. Okay. Our ancestors did this, and they weren't worried so much.
Okay. They didn't have the tablespoon measure.
They weren't layering. They were kind of playing it by ear. But about a tablespoon and a half works well. Now, this is the secret ingredient. This is beet juice. You can find this at any grocery store. And this is what's going to make this turn pink.
Lovely.
And it's also going to add a nice little bit of sweetness that the beet juice brings to the table.
So once we pour this in, and wow, it is blood red going in. But
now we're going to get this big bottle of water. And I should have uncapped that beforehand.
No, don't worry. I need a little bicep workout. And while
then
I'm
we're going to go
that,
ahead and pour that right in.
And do I fill it all the way to the top?
Yeah, about to here.
Okay.
Close to the neck of the jar.
And once we get it to the neck of the jar, I just want to make sure that we cover everything that we can in the time.
Perfect. Then we're just going to take this jar to kind of keep everything submerged under the brine.
That's clever.
And you don't need any fancy fermentation equipment. A little jar, whatever you've got on hand, you're going to and then you're just going to sit this on your counter for 7 days. It's going to start bubbling, periodically release some of that gas. And then after 7 days, give it a taste. I think you're going to like it. Pop it in your fridge, and it's ready for your holiday charcuterie board.
How easy is that? That's amazing. Okay, just before we let you go, you have 2 upcoming appearances that we want to make sure we mention. The first is that there's a new Barnes & Noble at South Park Meadows, and you're going to be there.
Yes, I'll be there tonight from 5 to 7 doing a book signing of the Modern Pioneer Pantry.
Lovely. And then Texas Book Festival, you're a featured author.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. I'm going to be on a panel where we're going to be talking about stocking the pantry and how to eat nutritiously for good health.
I love it. Mary, we're going to have you back. So nice to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
Learned so much from this woman. I tell you what, order your copy of the Modern Pioneer Pantry right now at marysnest.com. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Austin Telco Federal Credit Union. High-yield checking accounts. Do you have one? Pamela Cotton, Vice President of Member Services at Austin Telco Federal Credit Union, is here to tell us about how we can get the most out of our dough, and that's the good information to hear. Yes. Pam, what's the difference between something like a high-yield checking account and a traditional checking account?
It's pretty much exactly what it says. It's a high yield checking account. It's going to pay you more on your money, more than a regular checking account would pay. So the high dividend rate up to 5%, which is amazing on a checking account, right? And then it has activity requirements, which means you have to make a minimum number of transactions on the account, a minimum number of deposits or an amount of deposits as well, but you get rewarded with that high yield once you meet those minimum requirements.
That is pretty high, and I've never had a high yield checking account, so you are instructing me today. All
right now.
Key benefits of using something like high yield checking.
Yeah, so obviously the rates are very attractive. Where normally a regular checking account might pay like 0.05%, you're getting 5%, which is a huge difference, right? And then, so what's that going to do? It's going to make your money grow faster, which is what you want that to do. You want your money to work for you. So getting that better rate, more money, obviously is going to be great for you. Now, another thing is the flexibility. Normally, when you get a rate like that, it's going to be in a share deposit, a share certificate, or a CD, right? In a checking account, high yield checking account, you have that flexibility. It's going to be your daily transactions. You can use that money whenever you want.
So how can someone choose what is the right high yield checking account for them?
So you definitely want to compare, look at the rates, see what they're offering, and then everybody's not the same, so it doesn't work the same for everybody. Are you going to be able to meet the minimum deposits to earn that rate? Are you going to do that many transactions? So you really want to make sure you can do that. At Austin Telco, we are super excited that we've launched our True Earnings Checking, and there's no minimum balance requirement on that account.
So you could make that your primary checking, actually.
You definitely want to make that your primary checking.
Okay,
right?
All right. I'm getting the advice.
Yes. And we'll pay that 5% yield up to $15,000. So
wow.
Who has to open a certificate when you can use your high yield checking account to make that return on your money? It's absolutely amazing. So We're excited about it. Most places in this will charge you a monthly fee, not at Austin Telco. We don't charge a fee at all. So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely. You converted me today. All right,
Come on over.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
To learn more about all of the services Austin Telco Federal Credit Union has to offer, visit atfcu.org. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Austin Telco Federal Credit Union. Welcome back, everybody. Texas Wellness Day is coming up this weekend, and the event aims to inspire wellness and connection through accessible, inclusive programming. Joining us now is the head of partner marketing for Swift Fit Events, Candace Keith, and it's nice to have her back in studio. It's been a minute since we've seen you last. Hi, Candace.
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you too. All right, Texas Wellness Day, fill me in.
Well, Texas Wellness Day is our largest event of the year, our most inclusive, accessible health and wellness event for the whole community. So quite literally something for everyone here.
Yeah, you said we're not going to have enough time for me to talk about all of the wonderful things that are going on, but we'll try and break it down in bits and pieces. But first I want to ask why an event like this is so darn important.
Yeah, because there are so many health and wellness events happening in this city, but unless you are in that community and really just surrounding yourself and looking for those things, you might not know exactly what options are available to you. And so we try to make this event accessible and inclusive for everyone. So when I say that, it's literally like, no matter where you come from, no matter what your financial background is or your ability level, there's something here for you. And that's what this is about. It's about bringing everyone together and really showcasing what is available to them right here in the city.
And it's all centered on wellness.
Yes.
So let's talk about what kind of programming we can expect and include some live music. You said we've got to talk about Chief Cleopatra.
Yes. Chief Cleopatra played at ACL last year, and she's putting on a free concert right here at Texas Wellness Day this weekend. Free. It's totally free. Her whole band is coming with her. That's at noon. But before that, we kick off the morning with a trail run or a walk. You can come by yourself, meet new people. You can bring the stroller, the dog, whatever you want. Get some steps in first thing in the morning, and it will end right back at that festival, so you can just really enjoy the day. There's family-friendly yoga. There's yoga for all abilities. So if you've never tried it before, this is the time to get a little taste at what it might be. We have Texas dance lessons because it's Texas Wellness Day, so why not? And that will lead straight into Chief Cleopatra taking the stage. So learn some dance moves and then take it straight into practice.
Okay, so I'm hearing you can get a walk or a jog on, then you can do some dancing, then you can do some more dancing. There are a lot of different ways to get movement in
Absolutely.
on this day. And we did want to mention the fact that you've got 44 vendors who are going to be out there, and it's a wide range of things that have to do with wellness.
Yes, and I think what's important to note too is that you don't have to do any of those movement things. If you've heard me speak already and you're like, I don't want to do any of that, that's okay. There's still so many things for you to come do.
Okay.
This is just to expose you to all of the different things, right? So if you don't want to move, that's cool. Come and explore all of these vendors, the food trucks, everything we have. So some of the things, I mean, we have free B12 shots, lip flips, massages, scalp consultations, facials, chiropractic adjustments. There's face painting for the kids. There's all kinds of things. I think we'll talk a little bit more about the kids stuff, so I won't give too much of that away, but there are so many freebies and things to do, experience, touch, taste, feel, all of it.
Yeah, wow. Okay, we've got a lot to cover, don't we?
Yes.
You did bring up something for the kids. You've got a little one who's 3. So are kids that little welcome?
Absolutely.
Okay.
This is for 0 to 100. No matter how old you are, there is literally something for everyone. The Kids Zone will have face painting, lawn games. There will be coloring stations, custom hand-drawn portraits for the whole family. So special, right? Like just a way to truly get out and enjoy nature, the day, the community, and just bring the whole family with you.
I think it's really important too that kids see like mom, dad, guardians, grandparents, those sorts of folks like investing in themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter that you mentioned, she pretends to do yoga all the time. And so this will be her first time like actually trying to do real yoga.
Aw.
And so I'm looking forward to that.
Well, you mentioned food trucks. Let's talk about our food and drink options.
Well, we talked kids, so we will have shaved ice by Kona Ice will be there. Pliables, which is like acai bowls, smoothies, things like that. So something really healthy and refreshing. And then we also have Mexita there. So tacos, breakfast tacos, lunch tacos, all of those options, because tacos, Texas, it goes hand in hand.
I was going to say, and everybody loves tacos, don't they?
Yes.
Looks like such a good time. So this is a little bit of what has happened in years past. This is going to be bigger and better than ever.
It's our biggest one. I forgot to mention we're partnered with the Trail Conservancy, which is how we're able to get out on that trail first thing in the morning and just really appreciate the park system and the beautiful trail system that we have right here, but also the community. Right.
Lovely. Yeah, I love it. Okay, let's talk about how accessible it is when we discuss tickets. And then I would also love to discuss parking, because sometimes it's like rideshare is the #1 suggestion here, that sort of thing. So you tell me, do we need tickets? Can we just walk up? And then how should we park?
Good question. So it is free with RSVP. And with that, every person that RSVPs before Saturday is automatically entered to win a $350 prize pack, which includes hot and cold therapy like Theragun. It's a thermocool massage gun to be exact. Really cool, proper recovery after your full day at the festival, but also a fitness panel done by Better Way. So it gives you all of your blood markers and things to really see where you are in a health assessment type of way. So incentive to RSVP ahead of time, but it is free with RSVP. Parking, it's at a park. It's at a huge park. So surrounding neighborhoods with free parking, parking all within the park itself. But yes, always rideshare is something that we recommend just to keep it easy.
Or walk.
Right.
Yeah.
Or take the trail.
Or take the trail to get there. Sounds good to me. Candace, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys, for more information on Texas Wellness Day, it sounds like a lot of fun. Visit swiftfitevents.com or follow them on social media at swiftfitevents. The following portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by CPI Health. Capital Pain Institute offers comprehensive pain management services, including a new service called Targeted Drug Delivery, or TDD. Dr. Raj Patel is here to tell us more about it. And Dr. Patel, what is it? What's TDD and how does it work?
So targeted drug delivery allows us to utilize a microfraction of medications and deliver them directly to the vicinity of the opioid receptors and pain receptors in your body. The process for it involves an outpatient procedure with a couple days of recovery thereafter. And with that, we have a reservoir that's roughly fits in the palm of my hand, and a tubing that connects to it that's about the size of a guitar string, and that's what delivers the medication.
Let's talk about who'd be a candidate for a pain pump, because my understanding is this is usually someone who has not been dealing with back pain for just a little while. This is kind of getting to that last resort type feeling.
Exactly. This is for patients that have a moderate to severe amount of pain and disability, and that have really failed a lot of the other conservative options and are looking for what else is there to help control their pain in an effective fashion. Patients with cancer treatments, metastatic cancer burden, those can become a significant source of pain, and these patients can have often big challenges just with pain control, besides the fact of the treatment of cancer, dealing with cancer in and of itself. So that population of patients who are dealing with some debilitating pain from their cancer, that's certainly one big bucket of patients that may be good candidates for it.
Lovely. Okay, some of the benefits maybe of TDD over something like oral medications.
Yeah. So if you think about when a patient takes an oral pain medication, it's absorbed in the stomach, it gets taken to the liver breaks it down into little metabolites or pieces, and those are ultimately what travel to the pain receptors in your spine. So here, with targeted drug delivery, you're bypassing that system and delivering this medication directly to the vicinity of those pain receptors.
And then, of course, it's not like you just load the cassette one time and send them out the door. This is the start of a relationship about what works best for them.
Exactly. So we see our patients kind of in regular intervals thereafter. And the whole premise of that is we want to assess how they're doing at the dose that we start them at. And then thereafter, we can, again, continually make adjustments to that dose. If we need to titrate it a little bit further, make stepwise increases, we can do that in sequential steps in a very controlled fashion.
Okay, Dr. Patel, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Capital Pain Institute has multiple locations in the Austin area. Find the one nearest you at capitalpain.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by CPI Health. Welcome back, everybody. November is a really exciting time to be in Austin with such a variety of things to do. So joining us now to help you plan your fun is the editor-in-chief of Austin Monthly, Madeline Hollern. Good friend of the show. Madeline, good morning.
Hi, great to see you as always.
Great to see you as always. All right, first thing up, you said this is the number one thing we want to talk about. Honky Tonk Fest.
You thought the events were over when October ended. You were wrong. November is chock full of them, and we've got one this weekend with Austin Monthly. So Honky Tonk Fest is happening November 8th at Jester King Brewery. This is our first big music festival.
Love Jester King.
Right?
Yeah.
It's so amazing. So we're going to have 9 bands on 2 stages. Chaparral is going to be our headliner, who is the big breakout band of this year. They just played Blues on the Green. It's one of those Black Pumas type of bands where it's like, if you don't see them now, you're never going to see them because they're going to be so big. So this is the time to get in. So we've got Chaparral, Emily Ninny, Aaron McDonald, we got Paige Plaisance, Honky Tonk Catwalk, 9 bands. It's going to be so incredible. And then we've got Goats because it's Jester King Brewery.
That's right.
We're going to have 2-stepping lessons, which personally I definitely need because I'm a little bit rusty. And it's kid friendly. We're building a dance floor. It's going to be like Field of Dreams, this amazing dance floor that we've got out at Jester King. So it's really going to be just like this incredible event.
It sounds really fun, and I like that you've leaned in kind of on the honky tonk side of things.
Well, we did an entire 2-step cover in January. You know, this scene has just proliferated, especially post-pandemic, with Sagebrush and with Broken Spoke and all these, you know, the White Horse, all these spots in Austin. And it's kind of gone nationwide. Country is hot right now. Honky tonk is a big deal.
I think we have Beyonce to thank for that as well.
I think so too. Yeah. I mean, everyone is doing country albums and buying cowboy boots, and it's just become ubiquitous. So we thought, let's lean in and let's celebrate it. It's live music capital of the world.
Right. And if you live in Austin and you've never had 2-step-in lessons before, maybe now is the time.
This is the time, definitely. So we're so psyched about this event, Jester King. We're going to have tintype photography out there. You can get a tattoo out there if you're so inclined. So I'm really pumped about this event.
Sounds good to me. All right, let's talk about tickets. What's the ticket situation look like?
AustinMonthly.com. You can get tickets there. We've got regular tickets and VIP tickets. So yeah, there's still some available, but they're going quickly.
Okay.
And you can find more information on our Instagram as well, Austin_monthly, which if you follow us, you know we are posting things all the time, on the
Poppin'.
scene all the time.
Well, and I do want to describe Jester King for people who maybe haven't gone yet. It is so wide. There is so much space. You do not have to interact with other people if you don't feel like it.
Yes.
So if you're kind of crowd averse like I am,
Yeah.
it's still a really great time.
Plus, this is the time of year to be outside,
Yeah.
right? We put up with the ridiculously hot summer just for weekends like this, and the weather's looking perfect.
It is looking like it's going to be a really nice weekend. Okay, as you said, so many other things going on. Austin Food and Wine Fest.
Yes, so if you're a fan of eating, drinking, and being merry, as I am, this is one of my favorites of the year. So this is happening this weekend as well. Auditorium Shores. It's on the 8th and the 9th. So there's tons of bites out there. Chefs, this is like a yes chef kind of event. Chefs are doing, demos and tastings and grilling and all kinds of things like that. It's really fun. I will say, lots of drinks out there, so I heavily recommend ride sharing.
Ride sharing.
Or being sober, bringing a sober friend with you to drive you home.
That's me.
Yeah, it's great.
I'll do that for you. How about tangentially, still talking about food, Mac and Cheese Fest?
Yes, mac and cheese. So this is our dear friend of the magazine, Hayden Walker, puts this on.
We do love
every
Hayden.
year.
Hi,
Yes.
Hayden.
Yes, so it's exactly what it sounds like. Mac and cheese bites from restaurants across the city. They also do grilled cheese there. My recommendation for this event is stretchy pants or a flowy dress, because it's a lot of food. But it's incredible. It's at Star Hill Ranch, November 16th. So that's always you can't miss it. This is a month to be eating great food.
Absolutely. As we prepare for eating great food.
Yes.
I will say, I've got a friend from home. They wear overalls to Thanksgiving. That way
Just to have
you
enough
can
space. It
stretch
reminds me of
out.
that Friends episode where he puts on, the maternity pants of Phoebe. Yeah. Whatever you need to do.
That way you've got plenty of room. Okay, and then before we know it, we're talking December. We're talking Miracle on 5th Street,
Yes.
which should be returning this year, right?
So yeah, it is absolutely returning. I think maybe the best holiday pop-up in the city. It's one of the first that comes up. So this is opening next week. This is, if you want something for Instagram or TikTok, it's the most beautiful space. You've seen it before, right?
And they go, it's amazing how whole hog they go.
Yeah, it is like maximalist, just absolutely so many vibrant colors. They've got the Santa cups. They've got little dinosaur cups that they serve cocktails in, because nothing says Christmas like dinosaurs, right?
Right.
But it's got a little Santa hat on it. It's so cute, so fun, not to be missed. They do festive drinks like the Christmapolitan, stuff like that, buttered rums, things like that.
I think the glassware is just to die for, but also to your point, great place for taking pictures, all that fun stuff. And then usually they have a shot ski, right?
Yes, they do that. Again, I mean, all of these events, I'd say, not a bad idea to ride share
Right,
if you're
you
going
bet.
to imbibe.
It sounds like a lot of fun to me. Okay, we'll have to leave it there, but Honky Tonk Fest this weekend.
Can't miss it. AwesomeMonthly.com for tickets and more information.
Sounds good. I'm going to repeat that for more information on Honky Tonk Fest and other amazing events happening in November and December. Check out AustinMonthly.com.
The bar is back open because Happy's Place is returning to NBC and Peacock for its second season on November 7th. And ahead of the season premiere, stars of the show, Melissa Peterman and Belisa Escobedo, join me now. Hi, ladies. How are you?
Hello.
Hello, we're good. We're great.
Great. Happy.
Happy's Place. Yes, we're all happy here. Now, ladies, can you just briefly remind our viewers where we left off in season 1 and perhaps kind of where we're picking things up at in season 2?
Yeah, we left off right at kind of everyone finally accepting Isabella. I feel like we got over that hurdle.
Gabby loved you.
You did right off the bat.
Yeah.
But so that's been established. We're getting all the relationships, but the biggest thing we ended with season 1 was kind of that eyebrow with Emmett and Bobby. Kind of
Yes.
what's going to happen there.
Will they, won't they?
Will they, won't they?
Romance.
And so we kind of see if they will or won't when we pick up on season 2.
Ooh, okay, that's a great, I think, teaser for viewers to tune into season 2 of Happy Place. Now, to go a little deeper here, Belisa, it fascinates me how Isabella is this very layered character faced with life-altering news in a lot of ways, right? But it's all based in this sitcom setting. So I'm curious, what kind of attracted you to this role, the kind of layeredness mixed with the comedy aspect?
Well, for me, Melissa and I both were theater babies. We love theater. And so multicam is something I've never done before, but it's something that incorporates film and live performance in a way that you almost forget that you're doing both at the same time. And I think that's so beautiful because it has the perks of both, you know, and you get to work with this amazing crew, but then you also have this audience. And I think Isabella herself is just so real. You know, I feel like I've been friends with her, I've been her. So I really appreciate just how natural she is as a 20-year-old who doesn't know what she's doing in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real.
I think that's such a, to me, you know, as I have a child who just turned 20, and I think about stuff that he's going through. And for me, it's so helpful to remind myself what 20s were, and they are.
Right.
Not to mention you're 20 and you're still figuring out who you are, what do you want to do, and then you get this life-altering news that you have a family that was hidden from you, which I think just adds on to the complexity of your character, which is, you know, can be very layered, but your ability to bring the comedy to it, which in life you kind of have to.
You gotta
laugh
laugh.
at some of this stuff.
Yeah.
So
And I
I'm
think
enjoying
we
watching
all-
it unfold.
Yeah, we all naturally do that as well, kind of laugh at our misery sometimes.
Yeah. It's about the balance, right? And I think that's what this show does so well. Now, Melissa, for you, fans have been so excited, of course, to see you and Reba reunited on screen. But I'm curious, from your perspective, what has this meant to you to get to work with her again on another sitcom?
Everything, really. You know, I could get emotional talking about it. You know, when we finished the first run of the original Reba show, we were a family and we were good friends, and I knew that that wasn't going to end, but we wanted to work together again. And you know, we just had to wait for the right people and the right project to come along. And I'll remember that first day, that first table read together was so special. And I kept thinking, I can't believe I get an opportunity to do this again. And you know, as I'm older, a little, maybe been around the block a little since that original time, I truly know how rare it is to do this, how rare it is to get to do a job you love and then to do it with friends. So I'm almost a little bit more, I think I'd a little more take care of it and soaking it all in. That first time around, I was so young and just trying to remember where to park, you know, and then, so I had no idea the impact it would have on my life. So coming into it the second time, I know how special and rare it is. And I think we're just sort of soaking up every moment and not taking it for granted. Every day you get to do what you love with great people and hopefully make people laugh and forget about their own troubles for a minute or two, you know?
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really special, and it's important, I think, for people to see that and understand that as well. Now, one more question related to kind of Reba. So I know Steve Howey made a guest appearance in the first season. Can we expect any of your other former Reba co-stars to pop in for season 2?
Joanna Garcia, Cheyenne from the original Reba show pops in, and it was, but she, as always, she's so funny. And I think, you know,
Love her.
people don't even, I mean, I know they know how funny she is, but she literally crushes it and brings the house down in this episode. And I think she gets to do something that I'm sure she's wanted to do for a long time.
Yeah, and she's such a diva, but not in the way of like, oh, she's a diva. It's like, yes, diva. Like, okay, diva. And I love her.
And my favorite part was between like takes and stuff that, you know, we're just catching up. Like, just
I loved hearing their stories. Oh my gosh, it was awesome.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
probably
we're
a
very
very
excited that Joanna's back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lisa, for you, that's probably a very fruitful experience to get to hear from them and learn from them. Something that I love so much about this show, and I think it's probably my favorite thing, is kind of this underlying message throughout the whole thing that for a lot of us, chosen family is almost more important or maybe more vital than blood, right? And so I'm curious, why do you think that message is so important for the show, and maybe even why that's important to the two of you?
Well, I think for me, you know, chosen family is community. Community is family. And so I think especially in the times we're living in right now, the only thing that's going to get us through and make us stronger is having a community. And so for some people, I think you can find community in the oddest of places, in the places you'd least expect it. And so that's what I love about this show. is because I don't think Isabella ever would have thought she'd find community in Knoxville, Tennessee, you know, but she did. And it saved her. It really like revived her. So I find that message so important.
Yeah. And, you know, no matter if you have a really good, supportive, tight-knit family or you don't, maybe you do and you don't live near them. Maybe you don't and you have to figure it out. And I think that resonates. And for me, you know, moving to LA from Minnesota, and I still have wonderful parents and a family, but I was alone, and that community I established here saved me and got me through those struggling years. And there's so many times in your life where the people you are working with, or the people that are your neighbors, or that you're somehow inexplicably thrown in with, they become the most important people in your life.
Yeah.
And they are your family. And so I love that theme. And I think right now, sometimes you need to choose a family.
Yeah.
You do.
Find your people.
Find your people.
Yeah, choose a family. I love that. And I love what you said too, because I just moved very far from home, kind of for the first time in a sense as an adult anyway. And so I'm definitely working through that right now, that kind of chosen family aspect. Well, ladies, thank you so much for your time. You can catch up on season 1 of Happy's Place on Peacock and tune in to the second season, both on NBC and Peacock. Thank you both.
We have a lot of fun here on Studio 512. If you missed any of our great segments, be sure to check out our website where we like to post the fun things we do. Our feed covers content like arts and entertainment, food and drink, fashion and beauty, home and garden, stuff for kids and pets, as well as information from area experts. In addition, you can check out web-exclusive content that you can only find on Studio512TV.com. We also love to post behind-the-scenes funny moments, outfit inspirations, and more on social media. Find us by searching for Studio 512 on your favorite platform. You don't want to miss a single post. Be sure to follow us, check out our website, and watch us every weekday at 11 a.m. right here on CW Austin. Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by Austin Telco Federal Credit Union and CPI Health.